What is it about certain individuals that seems to draw people in effortlessly? You've witnessed it, and maybe even experienced it yourself, when someone enters a room and suddenly all eyes gravitate toward them. They don't have to deliver a grand speech or perform an impressive feat. Their mere presence is enough. This phenomenon isn't magic, nor is it reserved for a select few. It's the outcome of cultivated habits rooted in timeless wisdom, particularly the Stoic ideals of self-mastery, intentional action, and empathetic engagement. In the following sections, we'll explore 10 transformative habits. Each habit is more than a cliché. It is a deliberate practice designed to shape your mind, body language, and emotional intelligence in ways that make you genuinely magnetic to others. You will discover how to harness your inner dialogue to boost confidence, apply breathing techniques for unshakable composure, and employ listening strategies that foster sincere connections. By integrating these practices consistently, you'll develop an authentic attractiveness that transcends surface-level charm. Whether you're preparing for a high-stakes presentation, looking to strengthen personal relationships, or simply aiming to leave a lasting impression in your daily interactions, these Stoic-inspired habits will equip you with practical tools. Read on, reflect on each habit's deeper rationale, and commit to applying them. Remember, the goal isn't to craft a facade, but to refine your true character into one that naturally draws respect, admiration, and genuine affinity. 1. Cultivate unshakable confidence. Confidence is more than a stance or a tone of voice. It's an internal narrative that reinforces your value and potential. Imagine your inner dialogue as the steering wheel guiding every decision and reaction. When you habitually doubt or criticize yourself, that steering wheel veers toward insecurity and hesitation. Conversely, if you train your mind to acknowledge strengths and past successes, you'll navigate social situations with assurance and clarity. Begin with self-talk. Each morning, allocate 5 minutes to recall at least 3 personal achievements, no matter how small. Perhaps you delivered a compelling presentation at work last month, or you completed a challenging workout early in the morning. Write these down. This practice rewires neural pathways, gradually making affirmative thoughts your default mode. Next, set incremental goals. The Stoics spoke of progressive improvement. Little by little, a little becomes a lot. Pick a manageable target, like initiating a conversation with a colleague you barely know or volunteering to lead a short meeting segment. When you accomplish these smaller challenges, your brain registers the success, laying down new memory engrams associated with competence and confidence. Visualization complements goal setting. Spend 2 minutes visualizing yourself in an upcoming event, perhaps a networking session or a job interview. Picture the room, the people, and most importantly, yourself speaking or interacting with poise. Visualization activates similar neural circuits as physical practice, fortifying the mental blueprint of confidence. Another pillar is body posture. Studies in psychology illustrate that adopting a power pose, standing tall, shoulders back, chest open, for 2 minutes elevates testosterone and reduces cortisol, the stress hormone. Coupled with positive self-talk and visualization, power posing sends a coherent message. You feel worthy and capable. As a result, others perceive you as more authoritative and attractive. Finally, embrace failure as feedback, not a verdict. Even the most confident people experience setbacks. When you stumble, analyze what went wrong objectively. What did you learn? How can you adapt? Approaching missteps as growth opportunities diffuses the fear of failure and builds the attribute of enduring confidence. By systematically reprogramming your self-talk, setting and achieving incremental goals, visualizing success, and using confident body language, you'll cultivate a bedrock of self-assurance. Over time, this unshakable confidence radiates outward, making you naturally magnetic. 2. Master inner calm. Calmness under pressure distinguishes the genuinely composed from the chronically anxious. The Stoics revered equanimity, the ability to remain mentally undisturbed regardless of external circumstances. Imagine you're in a heated negotiation or facing unexpected criticism. A reactive individual might flare up or shut down. You, however, can choose a different path, one of collected deliberation. Start with breath control. The technique is simple but profound. Inhale deeply through the nose for a count of 4, Hold for 2, then exhale for 6 through the mouth. This extended exhalation triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, shifting your physiology from fight or flight to rest and digest. Practice this 4-2-6 cycle whenever tension arises, whether it's before a presentation or during a difficult conversation. Meditation deepens this practice. You don't need elaborate rituals. A basic mindfulness routine yields substantial benefits. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and focus on each breath, feeling air enter and exit your nostrils. When thoughts intrude, acknowledge them without judgment, then gently return attention to the breath. Aim for 10 minutes daily. Over weeks, you'll notice that stressors which once triggered anxiety now register as minor blips, manageable, temporary, and unworthy of emotional derailment. Cultivating calm also involves reframing external challenges. Epictetus urged, "It's not events that disturb people, but their judgments about them." Next time you face a setback, say a technology glitch in a live demo, remind yourself, "This is a neutral event. Only my interpretation can make it positive or negative." By consciously reinterpreting obstacles as opportunities to demonstrate composure, you transform potential panic into poised performance. In social settings, your calm presence puts others at ease. People instinctively seek stability. Your measured demeanor becomes a magnet for collaborators, friends, and leaders. Moreover, a calm mind retains clarity, crucial for effective problem solving and persuasive communication. In sum, breathwork, meditation, and cognitive reframing comprise a triad for mastering inner calm. Commit to daily practice, and you'll find that your serene presence amplifies both your attractiveness and effectiveness. 3. Listen more than you speak. In a world where talking often trumps listening, truly magnetic individuals flip the script. They listen more than they speak. Active listening isn't a passive act of silence. It's an engaged process that signals to others, "I value what you're saying." When people feel heard, they feel understood, and that emotional validation creates an invisible bond that draws them to you. Start by giving full, undivided attention. Put away distractions, silence your phone, close your laptop, and turn your body toward the speaker. Maintain steady but natural eye contact. This simple act tells the other person that they have your focus, laying the groundwork for a genuine connection. Next, embrace empathetic curiosity. As the other person speaks, mentally summarize their key points. This practice keeps you engaged and helps you detect the underlying emotions, whether excitement, frustration, or uncertainty. When appropriate, offer brief verbal acknowledgments like "I see" or "that makes sense." These cues encourage the speaker to share more deeply and illustrate their active involvement. One powerful tool is paraphrasing. After someone finishes a thought, say, "So what you're saying is," and restate their core message. This technique serves two purposes. You confirm your understanding, and you demonstrate respect by ensuring their perspective is accurately captured. If you misinterpret, the speaker can correct you, preventing miscommunication and reinforcing trust. Open-ended questions are another cornerstone of active listening. Instead of yes or no inquiries, ask questions that begin with how, what, or why. For example, how did that experience shape your approach? Or what motivated you to pursue that goal? These questions invite deeper reflection and signal that you're interested in more than surface-level details. Resist the urge to interrupt or interject with your anecdotes. While it's natural to relate through personal stories, excessive sharing can derail your attention from the speaker. If you have a relevant experience, wait for a pause and preface with, "That reminds me of something similar. Would you like to hear?" This approach ensures the conversation stays centered on them until they invite you to contribute. Nonverbal cues are equally critical. Nod gently when you empathize and mirror the speaker's body language subtly without mimicking to foster rapport. An open posture, uncrossed arms, relaxed shoulders conveys receptivity. Smiles and slight forward leans also communicate warmth and engagement. Listening deeply extends beyond one-on-one conversations. In group discussions, note who hasn't spoken and create space for their input by inviting them in. "Sarah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this." This inclusive behavior not only enriches the dialogue, but also builds your reputation as a thoughtful leader who values diverse voices. Cultivating a listening orientation transforms interactions. People feel seen, heard, and appreciated. qualities that in turn make them gravitate toward you. Moreover, by gathering richer information, you enhance your ability to respond thoughtfully, ask better questions, and steer conversations with greater insight. In practice, active listening requires mindfulness and restraint. But as you develop this habit, you'll notice others mirroring your attentiveness. Conversations will deepen, relationships will strengthen, and your social presence will become both compelling and authentic. Harness intentional eye contact. Eye contact is an unspoken dialogue that transmits confidence, attentiveness, and respect, all qualities that heighten your allure. Yet, many struggle to strike the right balance. Too fleeting feels detached, too intense feels confrontational. The Stoics believed in measured presence. Intentional eye contact aligns perfectly with that philosophy. Begin with awareness. Notice your default pattern. Do you look away quickly when speaking? Do you maintain a steady gaze that makes others uncomfortable? Spend a day observing yourself in mirrors or casual settings. Catalog moments when your gaze feels natural versus strained. Next, practice the 5 to 7-2 rule. When you first meet someone, sustain eye contact for 5 seconds. In the middle of a thought, hold for about 7 seconds. After someone finishes speaking, linger for 2 seconds before glancing away. These intervals create a rhythm, engaging but not overbearing. In professional contexts, such as interviews or presentations, slightly extend these windows by 1 to 2 seconds to convey seriousness. Conversely, in lighthearted or informal conversations, reduce them by 1 second to foster warmth. Always break your gaze by shifting gently to another part of the face, such as from eyes to mouth, or momentarily glancing down rather than abruptly turning away. Cultural sensitivity is crucial. In Western contexts, steady eye contact signals sincerity and confidence. However, in some cultures, prolonged direct gaze can be interpreted as disrespectful. Research your audience's norms and adapt accordingly. When in doubt, err on the side of softer eye contact. Just enough engagement without tension. Pair eye contact with micro-expressions. A brief smile or raised eyebrow during significant moments, acknowledging a shared joke or highlighting key points, enhances the connection. These subtle cues reinforce that you're emotionally attuned, inviting reciprocation. Use eye contact to guide conversations. When you ask a question, lock eyes to signal the turn in dialogue. When listening, maintain a gentle gaze, nodding occasionally to show comprehension. Avoid darting eyes or looking at distractions. This breaks the rapport and undermines perceived respect. Practice in low-stakes environments. Strike up brief chats with baristas or cashiers. Notice how varying your eye contact affects the tone of interaction. Over time, these small experiments build both skill and confidence. Finally, integrate deliberate pauses. In presentations, pause at key points while holding eye contact across the room. This silent connection draws people in, giving them a moment to absorb your words and reinforcing your command of the space. By harnessing intentional eye contact, adjusted for context, balanced in duration and enriched with genuine micro-expressions, you'll forge deeper connections and project magnetic confidence. Remember, your eyes speak before your words do. 5. Project positive body language. Your body speaks volumes before you say a single word. Psychologists estimate that nonverbal cues, posture, gesture, facial expressions account for up to 93% of perceived communication. Stoic philosopher Seneca advised that our outward comportment should mirror our inner virtues. By aligning your physical presence with your authentic self, you convey confidence, approachability, and respect, thereby amplifying your attractiveness. Posture. Stand tall, sit smart. Imagine your spine as the central mast of a ship, straight and sturdy. When standing, distribute weight evenly on both feet, keep your shoulders relaxed and drawn back, and lift your chin slightly. This open stance expands your chest, symbolically creating space for others and projecting self-assurance. When sitting, avoid slouching or leaning heavily on one side. Instead, plant both feet flat on the floor, keep your back neutral, and angle your torso slightly toward the speaker. This posture communicates engagement and readiness. Gestures. Use open, purposeful movements. Our hands are powerful tools of emphasis. Restrictive gestures like crossed arms or clenched fists can signal defensiveness or tension. Instead, use open gestures. Unfold your arms, rotate your palms slightly upward, and make strategic hand movements to highlight key points. For example, when outlining 3 principles, count them on your fingers. These deliberate gestures help guide your audience's attention and emphasize your message's structure. However, avoid over-gesticulation. Excessive or erratic movements distract rather than enhance. Aim for balance, enough motion to reinforce your message, but not so much that it overwhelms the content. A good rule of thumb is to keep gestures within your frame of vision to create a cohesive and engaging visual experience. Facial expressions. Mirror sincerity. Your face is the most expressive part of your body. A genuine smile, a Duchenne smile that engages both the mouth and the eyes, radiates warmth and trustworthiness. Practice smiling naturally by softening your gaze and letting the corners of your mouth lift gently. Avoid forced, toothy grins that come across as insincere. Likewise, keep your brow and jaw expressive but controlled. When listening, a subtle nod combined with a relaxed expression shows empathy. During storytelling, slight eyebrow raises can convey curiosity or intrigue. Proxemics respect personal space. Social psychologist Edward Hall identified 4 spatial zones: intimate, personal, social, and public. In casual interactions, maintain a personal distance of about 1.5 to 4 feet. This space feels comfortable for everyday conversation. Entering someone's intimate zone, under 1.5 feet, is reserved for close friends or romantic partners. Crossing that boundary too soon can cause discomfort. Conversely, staying in the social or public zone may create emotional distance. Read the room and adjust accordingly. Lean in slightly to signal engagement, or step back if the other person seems uneasy. Movement and presence. Command the room. When entering a space, move with purpose. Avoid wandering or appearing rushed. Walk at a measured pace, head held high, and shoulders square. In meetings or social gatherings, choose a spot that offers a clear view of the room, then settle confidently. Don't hesitate or scan anxiously. This behavior signals awareness and calm. During group discussions, use subtle shifts in position to include others. If someone speaks from a corner, turn your body to face them. When presenting, traverse the front of the room with measured steps during transitions. This anchors attention and signals openness. Congruence. Align your body with your message. Inconsistency between verbal content and body language breeds distrust. If you express enthusiasm but slump in your chair, the incongruence undermines your sincerity. The Stoics prized harmony between thought and action. Before speaking, take a mental pause. Ensure your posture, gestures, and facial expressions reflect the passion or gravitas of your words. Practicing in front of a mirror or recording yourself can reveal misalignments. Practice and feedback. Refining body language is a dynamic process. Solicit feedback from trusted colleagues or friends. Ask which gestures feel natural and which seem forced. You can also film practice sessions and review key moments. Over time, observe which adjustments enhance both your comfort and your impact. By mastering positive body language through confident posture, open gestures, genuine facial expressions, respectful proxemics, and congruent movement, you reinforce your verbal message and embody the Stoic ideal of living per your principles. This alignment between inner purpose and outward expression is inherently magnetic. 6. Honor punctuality. Punctuality is a tangible demonstration of respect. Respect for other people's time, commitments, and expectations. When you consistently arrive on time, you cultivate a reputation for reliability and professionalism, qualities that enhance your credibility and attractiveness. Conversely, habitual tardiness signals disorganization or a lack of consideration, eroding trust before you even begin to speak. Understand the impact of being on time. Imagine 2 colleagues arriving at a meeting, one 5 minutes early, the other 5 minutes late. The early arriver has a moment to settle, review notes, and greet others casually, entering the discussion calm and prepared. The late arriver rushes in, flustered, apologizing, and interrupting the flow. The initial impressions are clear. The early arriver appears competent and respectful, while the latecomer seems careless and disorganized. Plan with precision. Effective punctuality starts with realistic scheduling. Work backward from the appointment time to determine departure time. Factor in everything: transit time, potential delays, and personal preparation. For instance, if your meeting begins at 10 a.m. and transit takes 20 minutes, plan to leave by 9:30 a.m. to allow for a 10-minute buffer and a brief review of materials once you arrive. Utilize digital calendar tools, setting multiple reminders, one 24 hours before, one 1 hour before, and a final alert 15 minutes out. This tiered approach ensures you're continually aware of upcoming commitments, preventing last-minute scrambles. Prepare the night before. Reducing morning friction begins with evening preparation. Lay out your clothing, organize documents and devices, and pack any essentials, laptop, chargers, notebooks, into your bag. Review your agenda once more, noting any questions or talking points. This preemptive organization not only saves valuable minutes, but also transitions your mindset into readiness and professionalism. Communicate proactively. Despite the best planning, unexpected events, traffic accidents, technology failures can occur. If you anticipate a delay, notify your contacts as soon as possible with an honest ETA. A brief message such as, "I'm encountering unexpected traffic, I'll arrive by 10:10 a.m." demonstrates accountability and respect, mitigating frustration. If you do arrive late, offer a concise apology without extensive excuses. A simple, "Thank you for waiting. I apologize for the delay," followed by a prompt transition into the business at hand, signals humility and professionalism. Build a reputation as a punctual person. Consistency transforms punctuality into a personal brand. When you're known as the person who is always on time, people will instinctively trust your word. Schedule meetings knowing you'll be reliable and view you as organized and considerate. This positive perception paves the way for stronger relationships and leadership opportunities. Leverage time management techniques. Beyond punctuality to specific appointments, a broader mastery of time management enhances your overall presence. Techniques like the Pomodoro method, working in focused intervals with scheduled breaks, improve productivity, ensuring tasks don't spill over into subsequent commitments. Prioritize tasks using the Eisenhower matrix, urgent versus important, to allocate your energy effectively, preventing overload and last-minute rushes. Reflect and adjust after each appointment or event. Take a moment to reflect. Did you arrive early, on time, or late? If you missed your target, analyze why. Was your buffer insufficient? Did you underestimate prep time? Use these insights to refine your scheduling. Over weeks, this reflective practice fine-tunes your planning, making punctuality second nature. By honoring punctuality through meticulous planning, proactive communication, and continuous refinement, you demonstrate respect, reliability, and professionalism. These qualities not only boost your brand, but also subtly enhance your attractiveness as people gravitate toward those they can count on. Show genuine interest. Genuine interest is the bridge between acquaintance and authentic connection. When you demonstrate sincere curiosity about someone's thoughts, experiences, and aspirations, you communicate respect and empathy, qualities that endear you to others and strengthen trust. Stoicism underscores the importance of attending to the present moment and the people within it. Showing genuine interest is a practical expression of that principle. Remember personal details. People are drawn to those who remember what matters to them. Birthdays, hobbies, career goals, or favorite books. Creating memory anchors enhances this attentiveness. After a conversation, jot down a brief note, digital or handwritten, about key personal details. Reference these notes before your next interaction to refresh your memory. When you inquire, "How did that half marathon go last weekend?" you demonstrate that your attention extends beyond the immediate conversation, cementing a deeper bond. Ask thoughtful follow-up questions. Basic small talk fizzles if it remains superficial. Elevate the dialogue by asking follow-up questions that reveal genuine curiosity. What inspired you to pursue that project? Or, how did you overcome the challenges you mentioned earlier? These inquiries not only encourage richer storytelling, but also position you as an engaged listener who values thoughtful discourse. Resist the urge to pivot prematurely to your topics. Let their story unfold fully. Offer meaningful support. Genuine interest doesn't end with questions. It includes follow-through. If a friend mentions preparing for a certification exam, share relevant articles, study tips, or words of encouragement in the days before their test. These small gestures underscore your commitment to their success and elevate you from a casual acquaintance to a trusted ally. Balance vulnerability and curiosity building. Rapport often involves mutual sharing. After someone opens up, reciprocate with a personal anecdote that parallels their experience, but keep the focus on their narrative. For example, I remember preparing for my certification. I found that study groups kept me motivated. Did you consider joining one? This approach fosters reciprocity while maintaining genuine interest in their perspective. Observe nonverbal cues. Attentive observation goes beyond words. Notice shifts in tone, facial expressions, or body language that signal enthusiasm or discomfort. If someone's voice brightens when discussing a hobby, delve deeper. If they tense up around a topic, tread lightly or pivot to safer ground. This sensitivity demonstrates emotional intelligence and respect for their boundaries. Use names mindfully. Hearing one's name engages the brain's reward centers. Sprinkle people's names throughout conversations. That's fascinating, Alex. How long have you been researching that topic? To personalize the dialogue. However, avoid overuse, which can feel contrived. Aim for a natural cadence that reinforces your connection. Create invitation moments. Extend the conversation's lifespan by creating opportunities for future dialogue. If someone expresses interest in a topic you're knowledgeable about, suggest a resource or event. There's an upcoming webinar on that subject next week. Would you like the details? This gesture shows ongoing engagement and paves the way for continued interaction. Reflect sincere empathy. Empathy deepens the impact of showing interest. When someone shares a triumph or a setback, respond with phrases like, "That must have been incredibly rewarding," or "I can only imagine how challenging that was for you." Validating their emotional experience fosters trust and signals that you're attuned to their inner world. By practicing these strategies, remembering details, asking thoughtful questions, offering support, balancing vulnerability, observing nonverbal cues, using names, creating invitations, and reflecting empathy, you demonstrate genuine interest. This attentiveness nurtures meaningful connections and enhances your magnetic presence, reflecting the Stoic ideal of mindful engagement with the world around you. 8. Guard trust and confidentiality. Trust is the cornerstone of any meaningful relationship. Once broken, it's difficult, sometimes impossible, to fully restore. By consistently guarding confidentiality and honoring commitments, you demonstrate integrity and respect, qualities that increase your magnetism. The Stoics valued honesty and reliability. In modern terms, protecting private information is a practical expression of those virtues. Understand the weight of confidentiality. Consider a colleague confiding a personal challenge to you. Sharing that information indiscriminately is not just a lapse in etiquette, it undermines the foundation of trust. When someone reveals private thoughts or struggles, they place a metaphorical deposit in your trust bank. Every time you keep a secret or honor a commitment, that bank balance grows. Every breach withdraws from it. Set clear boundaries. Establish guidelines for what you will keep confidential. Early in a relationship or project, clarify your commitment. I want you to know that whatever you share with me stays between us. For complex situations, like team projects or therapy sessions, define the scope. Which topics can be discussed outside the room and which are off limits. This upfront clarity prevents misunderstandings. Practice discretion in conversations. When friends or colleagues share sensitive news, job searches, health issues, family matters, respond with a measured acknowledgement. I appreciate you trusting me with this. Avoid repeating details in social settings, even under pressure to share gossip. If someone insists on divulging, respectfully redirect. I'd rather not discuss private matters without name's permission. How else can I help? Honor your promises. Trust extends beyond confidentiality to keeping your word. If you commit to an action, sending a report, making an introduction, or providing feedback, follow through promptly. Missed deadlines and unfulfilled pledges signal unreliability. Should unforeseen obstacles arise, communicate proactively. I'm working on it and expect to have it to you by tomorrow afternoon. Transparency fosters understanding and maintains faith in your character. Use secure practices in digital communications. Security matters. Use encrypted messaging for highly sensitive discussions when appropriate. Store confidential documents in protected folders and avoid forwarding private emails without permission. These technical measures reinforce your verbal assurances of discretion. Model accountability. If you inadvertently breach confidence or fail to deliver on a promise, own the mistake immediately. Apologize without deflection. I'm sorry I shared that update without checking first. It won't happen again. Offer a plan to rectify the situation or prevent recurrence. Accountability demonstrates maturity and a genuine commitment to integrity. Cultivate a reputation of reliability. Over time, people will recognize you as someone who can be trusted with sensitive matters. This reputation opens doors. Colleagues will involve you in strategic discussions, friends will confide in you, and leaders will seek your counsel. Trustworthiness is a powerful form of social capital that enhances your influence and interpersonal appeal. By guarding trust and confidentiality, through setting boundaries, practicing discretion, honoring promises, employing secure methods, and modeling accountability, you align with Stoic ideals and fortify your relationships. In an era of oversharing, the ability to keep confidence sets you apart as a dependable and honorable person. 9. Embrace continuous growth. One of the Stoics' core tenets is the pursuit of constant self-improvement. Embracing continuous growth isn't merely about accumulating new skills. It cultivates intellectual curiosity, resilience, and confidence, all of which contribute to an irresistible presence. When you demonstrate a commitment to learning and development, you signal ambition and adaptability, traits that naturally attract others seeking inspiration and expertise. Cultivate a learning mindset. Adopt a beginner's mind, a concept borrowed from Eastern philosophy but resonant with Stoic humility. Recognize that no matter how much you know, there's always more to explore. Approach new topics with genuine curiosity and an open mind. Replace judgments like "I'm not good at this" with "I'm learning how to get better." This mindset shifts challenges from threats to opportunities, reducing fear of failure and fostering experimentation. Establish a reading routine. Reading remains one of the most efficient paths to intellectual growth. Allocate at least 15 to 30 minutes daily to read books outside your comfort zone. History, philosophy, science, or contemporary essays. Diversified reading broadens your conversational horizons, enabling you to contribute thoughtfully to discussions across various subjects. Keep a reading journal to note memorable insights and reflect on how to integrate them into your personal or professional life. Engage in structured learning. Online courses and workshops offer targeted skill building. Identify areas that align with your goals, whether it's public speaking, coding, or leadership, and enroll in reputable programs. Set milestones. Complete modules by specified dates. Apply new skills through mini projects and solicit feedback. The act of publicly sharing progress, social media posts, blog updates, or informal presentations, reinforces accountability and attracts like-minded peers who appreciate your dedication. Practice reflection and journaling. The Stoics use journaling to examine their thoughts and actions. At the end of each day, write a brief reflection. What did you learn? Which decisions aligned with your values? Where could you improve? This practice sharpens self-awareness and highlights patterns, positive or negative, that inform your development strategy. Over time, your journal becomes a personalized roadmap of growth, reminding you of past breakthroughs and guiding future strides. Seek mentorship, and community growth accelerates when you surround yourself with mentors and peers who challenge and support you. Join professional associations, mastermind groups, or online communities focused on your interests. Engage actively, ask questions, share resources, and offer assistance. Meaningful exchanges foster mutual respect and position you as both a learner and a contributor, enhancing your social capital. Embrace failure as feedback. Stoic philosophy frames adversity as an opportunity for virtue. When you encounter setbacks, missed goals, failed presentations, or rejected proposals, resist self-criticism. Instead, analyze the root causes. Was your preparation insufficient? Did you misjudge audience needs? Extract lessons and integrate them into your next attempt. This iterative process underscores your resilience and demonstrates an authentic commitment to mastery. Celebrate progress. Acknowledge milestones, big or small. Perhaps you completed a 30-day writing challenge or mastered a new software tool. Share achievements with your network through a brief post or a conversational mention, expressing gratitude to those who supported you. Celebrating progress not only boosts your confidence, but also inspires others, reinforcing positive social bonds. By embracing continuous growth through reading, structured learning, reflection, community engagement, and reframing failure, you cultivate intellectual vitality and adaptability. This evolving expertise not only expands your capabilities, but also enhances your magnetic presence, as people naturally gravitate toward those committed to lifelong improvement. Master emotional regulation. Emotional regulation, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your feelings, is a hallmark of personal mastery. The Stoics taught that emotions themselves aren't the problem. It's our judgments about them that lead to unhelpful reactions. By mastering your emotional landscape, you maintain composure, think more clearly, and project a stable presence that others find reassuring and attractive. Cultivate self-awareness. The first step in emotional regulation is identifying what you're feeling. Pause periodically throughout the day and ask, what emotion am I experiencing right now? Labeling emotions. Anger, frustration, pride, or anxiety activates the brain's analytical circuits, reducing impulsive reactions. Use a simple mood chart or journal entry to track triggers and responses. Apply the pause technique. When you notice a strong emotion rising, say anger during a tense conversation, employ the pause technique. Count silently to 4, taking a controlled breath in each count, then exhale on the next 4 counts. This brief interruption creates cognitive space between stimulus and response, enabling you to choose a deliberate action over a knee-jerk reaction. Reframe your thoughts. Stoics encourage evaluating external events objectively. If you receive harsh criticism, ask, is this an unchangeable truth or a subjective opinion? Reframe the scenario by focusing on constructive elements. This feedback highlights areas where I can grow. This cognitive shift transforms potential emotional turmoil into productive motivation. Practice grounding techniques. When emotions feel overwhelming, grounding methods help anchor you in the present. Engage your senses. Name 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch, 3 you can hear, 2 you can smell, and 1 you can taste. This sensory inventory distracts from ruminative thoughts and calms the nervous system. Develop healthy outlets. Emotions need expression in healthy forms. Regular physical activity, running, yoga, martial arts, provides a channel for excess energy and stress. Creative pursuits like writing, painting, or playing an instrument can also serve as emotional releases. Schedule these activities routinely, not only as stress responses, but as preventive maintenance for your mental well-being. Use support systems wisely. A strong network, friends, mentors, therapists, offers perspective when emotions cloud your judgment. Choose confidants who challenge your biases and encourage balanced viewpoints. When you share an emotional struggle, ask for specific feedback. Do you see an alternative interpretation? This collaborative approach fosters both support and accountability. Reflect and integrate. After emotionally charged events, revisit your journal. Note what triggered your reaction, how effective your regulation techniques were, and areas for improvement. Over time, patterns emerge, revealing common stressors and refining your strategy. Celebrate progress when you handle situations more calmly than before. Mastering emotional regulation empowers you to navigate social and professional landscapes with poise. Your composed demeanor becomes a refuge for others under stress, reinforcing your reputation as a steady, reliable presence. By consistently applying self-awareness, pausing, cognitive reframing, grounding, healthy outlets, supportive feedback, and reflective practice, you'll demonstrate a level of emotional intelligence that is both rare and deeply attractive.